the kernel of wheat. Okay. First thing you want to know is what the outer covering is, and that's the brain. Okay. So that's where brain comes from, is the outer of the kernel of wheat. So what they do in the milling process is they do the milling process, they crush it, and they grow wheat all over the place.
Okay. Forgot what you said. Okay, see this?
And a lot of wheat, up north, Minnesota is a big wheat state. Matter of fact, they had a baking institute up there, these classes that I went to a long time ago. It's closed now. It's owned by General Mills. Oh. And it's this huge tech college. I think it's about 10 floors high and it covers like 2 city blocks. It's got a whole bunch of programs. But the money for that college came from a guy that did wheat, grew wheat, Mr. Dunwoody. So he was determined that one portion of that college would have an area for teaching baking. Pretty nice. What happens is when General Mills pulled out, I don't know what they did with the space, but those instructors went to San Francisco. Okay, so what they do is after they crush it, and this is pretty cool. Does anybody realize that we used to, I say used to, actually mill wheat here in the state? Okay, that's where HFM came from, right? Hawaii Farm was. Started in the 60s. They don't do it. But you can still see, if you're heading towards Diamond Head, after you pass, well now it's the Leha Coffee Shop or whatever, right, on Millers Highway.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's
Look out towards Honolulu Harbor, right on the ocean, there's silos. Those used to always be full of grain. And when, I used to take students down on a field trip, it was pretty neat. But this is how far back it was. In 9/11 came, they totally cut their staff really small and they refused it. They didn't want to do it. I understand. What they have is like this whole room, these big hoses coming down into it. It kind of looks like dressers. And it's just a huge row of them. And so after they grind the kernel of wheat, it goes down into these, it's kind of like dressers, and each one is a sifter inside. So the flour gets sifted, and these things are all shaking back and forth. It's a huge roll. And then what they do is they actually blend the protein and the starch to get the bread flour and pastry flour. And then they design flour for certain companies, especially big ones. Like Saint Germain has their own line, Loves. Okay? So they can manipulate the makeup of the flour, just so you get that certain finish in the product. Okay, so the middle of the kernel is the endosperm. That's where the white flour comes from. And then, of course, the end there is the germ. One of the things I think you might enjoy, I do, I hope you do, is to make wheat germ baguettes. So that really nutty flavor into it's nice, really enjoyable. So we'll do that. Okay, so I'm summarizing, right? So you guys, that's the important stuff to know so far. There's a lot in here that's fun. The thing about flour makeup that we want to understand is the protein content. Okay, or the gluten, that's so to speak, once it's developed. And it has a starch content. Okay. And then some other discussions there. And this last one is just informational. So when you look at flour, you want to, you ever try using like all-purpose flour to use a particular bread and you switch, you may find a difference. Because within the realm of all-purpose or realm of bread or whatever the flour is, it depends on the bread. So you might have a different protein content within the specs of bread flour. So one could be 11, one could be 11 and a half, okay, one could be 12. So the idea is that if you develop a recipe flour, you want to stay consistent. Because if you start switching brands, the protein content could be different. And so the hydration will be different, so the outcome will be different. It's not the end of the world, it's just you're gonna have to adjust for it. So when I go to Leeward and teach there, they really small amount of ordering they do, especially when I'm there in the summer. So sometimes they say, well, we have to get the flour from Edson, right? So it might be more bread, it might be these other brands of flours. So the first thing I do is ask for the spec sheet, so I can see how it compares to Harvest Cake, which is what I use here. So I can be ready to adjust the recipe accordingly. Okay. So one of the things is, you can always find out the exact protein content of the makeup of flour by reading the spec sheet. Okay, one of the things that's kind of interesting, they actually have an ash content. And what they do with the ash is they actually burn the flour. And they have basically like a chemistry lab in the mill to check everything out. And they burn part of the flour, and that tells how much the bran has gotten into the final product. So the ash content is good for fermentation. So sometimes they want to manipulate flour to do that, but I think that's just kind of interesting. Okay. So protein and starch are the main ones, right? You want to know how much protein. You want to basically understand that flours have different strengths. Okay. So the strongest flour that we're concerned with is bread. Okay, so bread flour. Okay. The one we use is 11.5% protein. Okay. So high protein content can hold more water. Okay. The next flour down in strength is AP, or all-purpose strength. So you guys use over the hot second. Typical all-purpose flour is 10.5%. Why do they call it all-purpose? What do they call it in Navy? I think it can be listed as general purpose.
Non-purpose one, yeah.
Is that something? Yeah. So it is an all-purpose or general purpose flour if the recipe is tailored for it. So you can make a bread with it. You may not get as a lot of chew as you might want with a bread flour. But you can make soft rolls and stuff with it. But you could also make a cake with it. And the way you make the cake with it with such a strong flour is high amount of tenderizers, like that. So the recipe has to be tailored for it. It makes it work, okay? And that's just so you don't have to go with all these flours. Now, in the pastry shop, we like to have the ability to mix and mingle our own flour. So typically, we don't have AP in the shop. So if you're coming from the hot side because you're out of flour, and put yourself in a hotel setting, that's a good one. This is in case you can go to the bake shop and you can't get flour because the store is closed. What kind of flour would you ask for to make it? You're making a roux. Because you don't want to go to the pastry flour. You don't want to go to the pastry shop and ask for flour, right? That's like a pastry person going to the banquet kitchen and asking for pasta, or asking for rice. What kind of rice? What kind of pasta? So when you go to the pastry shop, you want to ask first if you're to make yourself a flour. So if you know you're making a roux, what flour would be ideal? Okay, if I don't have the AP, so your choice is bread, pastry, or cake.
Cake. Cake.
Cornstarch.
The white one.
Yeah, the white one. Ideally, bread would be good because it has a high absorption rate. So you probably get more bang for your buck with your roux. You use less because it'll hold more water. Pretty neat, huh? So I would use bread. Okay, so it's always about the absorption rate. That's depending on the protein. So bread flour having being the one we're concerned with, having 11% protein, and AP being 10.5. Below that is pastry. Pastry flour is between 8 and 9%. And this is a great flour for making scones and biscuits and stuff like that. So it's not too tough. Yeah. Pastry flour is hard to find. Okay, buy it online. Down to Earth, and I think Whole Foods has a whole wheat. That's going to have a little bit stronger juice to it. But in the past, some students have went to Ed Sun and bought a bag and then split it here. If they wanted to. A bag of flour from them, you can probably get for $30. It's pretty cheap if you break it down to 50 pounds. Compared to buying it in the store. The cake flour, being the last one, 7%. Cake flour you can find in the stores. Does everybody realize that? Has anybody bought cake flour before? Yeah. So it comes in a box, yeah? That's a little bit of a box. Well, like I said the other day, the flour, the bread flour that we're using is the same one, it's the same spec. It's the same, that's just the over-the-counter name for it, but the same flour that we're using here is the better for bread right here. Okay. And it's good for all your bread. I bring in the Mauna Loa the spring week sometimes from